Teachers, what's the weirdest thing you've had to take away from a student? A picture they'd drawn of me in a teeny bikini. At the time I was a fairly out of shape man in my late 30s. Not a good look. The care they'd taken drawing a pair of gigantic pendulous breasts, which I don't have, was unsettling. The same student also wrote Fokrin in a bikini on a feedback form asking if there was anything they needed in class. Edit. 1. Obligatory thank you to everyone who stopped by to vote, comment and award this. 2. This student was in 11th grade and is also a guy. 3. I genuinely thought I'd save the pic, but after 2 moves of job, including a change of country, I can't find it. You like it? It's very generous. Ziploc bags filled with water. That was a trend for a while at my school. Kids would claim they needed it in case they got thirsty, but usually would just try to pop them in each other's laps during class. That is a very schoolboy thing, actually holding the thing that can duck you up for the sake of the game. My best friend and I would sit in my tree fort and place Ziploc bags filled with water in the tree branches above us. Then, taking turns, we would each shoot the bags with a pellet gun, intending to place the shot just right so the water would come pouring on the other. Mom put a stop to it after we demolished the first box and were starting on our second. Dad thought it was duckin' funny though. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds super fun. An uncooked chicken breast. Actually, 2 uncooked, boneless chicken breasts. The student had 1 in each pocket. Had to take a computer away from a kid because he had 2 Google tabs, search and images, open with a search naked nude Pokemon porn in class. Taking a computer away isn't super weird, but that reason has stuck with me for a while. Dude, WTF, this happened to me too, sort of. My kid was looking up hentai tentacle rape. The principal insisted I report the incident to the parents myself. After I told Mom that the kid was looking at porn in class, she would not believe me and insisted that I tell her exactly what he was looking at so she could be sure it was porn. I will never forget having to explain to that woman what hentai tentacle porn is. The principal insisted I report the incident to the parents myself. That principal was a coward and that task was above your pay grade, no matter how much you're paid. Agreed. That is what administration is for. A wine cooler that looked like a Capri Sun. This was a 2nd grader and she was just getting ready to drink it. Meanwhile, Mom is just sneak sipping on a Capri Sun at work when reality hits her. I saw a tweet like 2 years ago saying someone's dad was drinking a White Claw every day on his way into work because he thought it was another seltzer brand like LaCroix. Growing up, I used to think Mike's Hard Lemonade was a really badass lemonade. First thing that came to mind, a drawing of a peanut. One kid said he had a peanut allergy, so a boy drew a peanut on a piece of paper, and started shoving it in the other boy's face and being a general dick with it. Boom. Roasted. Dry roasted. A homemade shiv. His dad has just gotten out of jail and given it to him, so he brought it to school. I teach kindergarten BTW. That's less weird and more sad and messed up. True. Chef's knife stuffed in the waistband of his sweatpants, no underwear, during a snowstorm. In case he was attacked by a polar bear. I don't recall exactly, but that very well might have been it. Seriously. Alaska? No. Colorado. Not real polar bears. This student, I don't remember his exact DSM diagnosis. I don't think it was schizophrenic. I can't recall. He was almost always really nice and a gentle soul, albeit he'd say weird things. On rare occasions he would show a little different side. That morning was him showing one of those different sides. My sister's teacher had to call my dad about a suspicious powder my sister was eating out of a bag at school. She was dipping her finger in a bag of powdered Jell-O and eating it and letting other kids do the same. In a somewhat similar vein, a dumb trend went around my school that consisted of kids violently snorting dib-dab powder, sherbet, then proceeding to scream in pain when they had a nosebleed and/or pretend they were high. This was an all-girls school. Don't ever let the boys cool girls boring memes fool you. We also do dumb shit. There was a boy in my 7th grade class that wasn't allowed to have coins because he'd eat them. Jingle 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 jingle. Him taking a dump must have sounded like a slot machine paying out. Edit, ha ha ha, Of course, my first gilded comment is about poop. A can of Cheese Whiz. It was from a student visiting from another country, and she was enamored of the incredible canned cheese product she had discovered. So much so, she kept either opening her backpack to stare lovingly at it or taking it out during class to get some sweet, cheesy goodness. It was pretty cute actually, and I made sure she got her cheese product returned to her at the end of class. Man, did she love Cheese Whiz. That's hilarious. I feel like a lot of people would remember her as Cheese Whiz Girl. Christmas ornaments. They were throwing them at each other and it eventually caused a fight. Next to that would be a curtain rod. He found it and kept hitting people with it. BONK. A giant head of lettuce that just suddenly appeared on his desk. Where did he get it? Are you sure it wasn't a cabbage? Because I might know where he got it from. My cabbages. I have been on Reddit for many years and have never noticed people hollering my cabbages. Everywhere up until 8 months ago, when my friend made me watch Atla. Now I see it everywhere, and, if I don't see it, I post it. A whole salami. Kid kept walking over to his backpack and sticking his face in to take secret bites without me noticing. I noticed. This one is the funniest to me because it is just such a kid thing to do. Kid thing? I'm in college and I'd totally do this. A girl had about 50 plastic spoons in her pocket. She tripped and they all fell out. We all found it hilarious, but a high-up teacher was walking by and made her pick them up. She was going to anyway, and put them all in the bin. He was probably very confused over the whole situation. Why would she even have them LMFAO and that many too? Panties. They had fallen out of a girl's gym bag in the previous class. When I came in the room after standing duty in the hall, 3 boys were flinging them back and forth across the room. Never a dull moment. Am I the weird one for not changing underwear for gym class? I know my only pair of boxers at school were the ones I was wearing. In addition to the comments about sweaty underwear, there always is the chance that periods might start unexpectedly or just make a mess if your flow is heavier than expected. Extra underwear isn't super uncommon for a girl to have at school. I don't know why I never thought to do this. Apparently I like to gamble. Not a teacher, but if you were to ask her, this would probably be it. Various vegetables. She was super strict about no phones and would check at the slightest sign you might have your phone. As half protest half prank we began our shenanigans. A girl's family member passed away and was texting on her phone about it to other family members. The teacher took her phone. So we began bringing in potatoes, celery, carrots, tomatoes, and other vegetables. We'd smuggle them into class and then hold them under our desks and look at them as though we were texting. She kept trying to catch us, but then just thought we were weird. This goes on for at least a week. Finally she instituted a zero-tolerance policy against vegetables. So we switched to fruit. So for a few weeks she was constantly confiscating various fruits and vegetables. We finally stopped when it wasn't as fun anymore, and she wasn't never ever quite as strict about phones after that. Edit fixed double negative. Clearly I didn't pay enough attention in school. I did a similar thing in HS, but it was a one-time deal and not an ongoing joke. A group of us picked a day to be Fake Electronics Day where we would bring in spoofs of banned items, giant cell phones from the early 90s that hadn't actually worked in a decade, iPods and digital cameras. This was before smartphones, made out of cardboard, stuff like that. The idea was basically the same as yours. We would pretend to use it in class, look like we were trying to keep it hidden, but intentionally get caught, and see if we could get a reaction from the teachers when they realized what we actually had. I got a pretty good laugh from my math teacher the day I'd plugged a pair of earphones into the side of an apple, as in the fruit, and then stuck the earbuds in my ears when I knew he was looking. He shook his head at me and held out his hand for me to turn in my device, so I walked up and handed him the apple with the headphones still stuck in. Their moment of silence while he processed what had happened, and then he started roaring with laughter. I was pretty proud of that one. That's a good-natured teacher. Yeah, I knew going in that he wasn't the kind who would be a jerk about it, so I probably wouldn't get into trouble, but I also wasn't sure if he'd find it funny or just annoying.